So this song has really grown on me. Like, I wasn't too crazy on the instrumental of this song. I'm just keeping it 100. That I mean that, like, no disrespect by that, but I'll talk about it when we'll get to it, the meaning of the instrumental as well. But now I can totally understand the meaning. But my point is just I I had the exact opposite experience growing up than we Skeem. I'm experiencing some of what he's talking about now as an adult. Now that my autism has adjusted, so I'm gonna talk about that and also about the song and all the metaphors and that we Scheme has put out. He made a reaction. He talked about a song on a live stream actually. And so it's kind of like, this isn't really like any like, oh, you cracked the case, because obviously he already talked about it, but I just want to talk about the song because it means a lot to me, especially right now with circumstances in my life. So enough stalling. It's 100% beef, and let's dissect. I mean, let's dig right into that underground music. That's for movies. Dissect this like a frog. Because, yeah, well, that could work too with this. Why not? So I was talking about the instrumental and why it's like this. Well, Weeskin talks about in the song about this he is kind of like a Tears of a Clown song where he's really hurting inside, but he's acting like the funny guy, and he's actually inviting people to insult him. So because I can only imagine actually maybe I can understand this. I have autism like Wee Scheme does, and sometimes I do this when I feel like they're going to make fun of me, so I'm like, just go ahead and do it, so I get it out, so the anticipation is not there. But there's more to it when we get to the lyrics. But it's a kind of facade beat. It kind of sounds overly happy to a point where it's fake happy, doesn't it? That's the whole metaphor to faking being happy and actually being really hurt inside. Tears of a Clown. Also, it kind of does, in a way, sound like clown music. Not 100% spot on, but I see the resemblance.
Turns out everybody hates me. Only 10 and a real in hazy.
I'm sure this is like I'm sure it's like this for people without autism, but it's because of our social anxiety, we tend to tell jokes even when we need to vent. So it gets people to laugh, and it relaxes my social anxiety thinking that they hate me. Because when someone laughs, they can't hate you, right? They think you're funny. But it's also very dangerous too, because when you need a vent, but you're making someone laugh instead of actually venting, like hiding your vent with a joke. I do that. It makes you feel invalid if they laugh at it too. So it's good for it's good in the short term, but in the long term, it's very, very unhealthy, and it's a bad habit. I mean, mine. I need to get out of it. I somehow decided to pick up that bad habit in adulthood. Great, wonderful. Anyway, if you don't know, hazing is irritation, bastardization, raging, or deposition. Refers to any activity expected of someone in joining or participating in a group that humiliates, degrades, abuses, or endangers them, regardless of a person's willingness to participate. So, just humiliating tasks as part of a program or ritual physical training. Humiliating and sometimes dangerous rituals. So it's kind of saying just like trying to fit in, trying to fit in, you tell jokes, like who doesn't like a good laugh?
I would say this stuff don't faze me, but I ain't crazy. Well, not yet, maybe.
I love this. He's telling a joke within saying, "Oh, I'm not crazy." Well, maybe. Well, I feel like it does faze him what people say, and he did at 10, like the story is saying, because he won't admit someone that is really hurting and can't talk about their emotions will not admit it. They will joke. They will joke and joke, and that's kind of like saying, well, maybe, it's really clever. It's a clever foreshadow, or however I don't even know if it's a foreshadow, but it's like a hint. I'm trying to use big words, but anyway.
Set the stage for a brand new drama. Skinny boy with a vengeful mama. All the stuff they say at church, it kinda hurt, but my mom's views were.
Oh, yes. The stuff that they say, like, I have nothing against where I work. They're great people. It's just, their sarcasm is awful. And when I am in a bad mood, I cannot stand it. I cannot tell when they're kidding or not. And it's like, I need to be in a good mood or else I'll take them seriously. And it's like, whatever they say, just joking around with me, or, maybe, someone is being mean to me there, and I'm just realizing it. But it's just, I don't want to go into detail, but it's just, as my dad says, like, the worst stuff to me, because he cares a lot, so he's blunt about stuff, like, it's, I don't know, says I'm overweight and stuff, maybe jokes about it, just really honest, and it's like, anything they say at work is nothing compared to what my dad says, because especially how my dad, like, it feels like my dad's opinion is a lot more important because he's just that much closer to me. It feels like the people that can hurt you most are the people that, you're close to because you care more about their opinion, especially a parent's. So, yeah, it's, I had to go. I mean, my dad understands me more now, but I can relate to this part of the song back when, he was like, "Why are you just sitting on your ass? Huh? Didn't get a job." I remember that. Well, and all that. I had to just, my dad had to figure out what autism is like, and my specific autism, and I'm working now, so it doesn't matter, but yeah, it just brings back dark times and memories, and I love music that does that. It helps you process those dark times, so you can get over them better, so they don't pop out at you at midnight anymore, and like, why is this not resolved? It was 10 years ago,
So go out and get scorned, then go home and get more. My true self looks deformed. I try my best, but I can't conform.
Yeah, I constantly feel like I'm not good enough, so I don't know. Maybe I'm off task at work. Maybe I need to, work on that more. But also, it just feels like I'm just bossed around at work, at school. Obviously, work, because you gotta, that's where you gotta work. Obviously, it's not this, but that's just the nature of it. You're gonna get bossed around. So I don't know. Just recently, it's just been hard, just trying to continue the stuff I used to be able to do, no problem. It's weird. And then I go home and I get bossed by my dad. I said that all the time at my last job, not this one, but the one before it. Yeah, that's what really frustrated me, because, yeah, I relate to that a lot. That's the thing, like, I'm around a bunch of sarcastic people, so I feel like I can't be too serious, because they're always sarcastic and joking around, so I have to, yes, I like to joke around too, but I'm also serious, but I kind of have to push away my serious side so I can be more on the joking side, and it's very hurtful to my mental health, but also I feel like that with my friends too, but that's normal. It's like, who wants to be dragged down by something? Like, I understand that. Who wants to get dragged down by, I'm not saying that to be mean. Like, I'd love to, my friends open up to me and stuff, but um, I don't know. There's just a stigma against it for some reason. It seems like a lot of people just, they'll say they want to listen, but, not many people want to get dragged down with what you have to say. And that's the harsh reality to it. Like, I'll, even me, I'll say like, hey, hit me up if you need to chat, but it does drain on me naturally because I'm a human being. So it's like, I don't know if I could take that every single time, like, I hung out with someone out. It would drain me mentally, and that's only human. I'm not saying that you talk to anyone, they'll agree with me with that. But also, this part could be talking about autism too, where people with autism feel like they really have to conform to be quote unquote normal, or with social skills, and act like the other kids, don't have a nervous breakdown, don't tell too many jokes, gotta be serious now, stuff like that we just goes right over people that have autism's head.
But here's a trick to deal with little pricks. A blow to the face only hurts a bit if you predict the hit. Bitch, I'm inviting it.
Exactly. The punch hurts less when you're inviting it and you know it's coming. That's also a huge another that's also a huge reason why I'll do self-deprecating humor. So, if I'm expecting it, I'm afraid to feel like I'm getting attacked all the time. And again, it's my own fault with my social skills. I everyone around me is great people. It's just really hard. It's really hard when you're in a bad mood. You're not really in the mood for it,
I ain't making friends. I know how this ends. Dealer gave me 10, so hit me.
Also, not gonna lie, this hook used to annoy me, but now that I know that it's someone that's trying to joke around to the point where he's annoying around other people, it makes a lot of musical sense, and it's easier to listen to now, especially that I relate a lot more to the meaning. And don't get me wrong, I still really like this song. I wouldn't be talking about it right now if I didn't really like it. So tens in poker is the least valuable hand you can have. So he's saying he was dealt a bad card. So what's there to lose? He's already in a bad spot. Go ahead, hit me. But also, I think that hitting someone means something in poker. Means to make a hand in poker. For example, we might have an open-ended straight draw out the turn and hold 'em. So he's just trying to make the best what he has, even if he's dealt crappy cards. But also, I love the poker theme. It's like you have to have a poker face. You feel like you're hiding behind the mask, as he says later in the song. Like, you feel like you have to, you put on a smile and stuff, but really you're not doing so well. And that's the poker face, Also, having autism, we have poker faces a lot. You can't tell a lot of the times how we're feeling. It's like, trust me, we do show our emotions. We get very emotional, but sometimes it's really hard to tell. So, yeah.
You say that I'll break. Boy, this money's fake. I'd rather give, so take and hit me.
So breaking in poker means that you decide to go to a different board. I'm assuming. I'm just looking this up on Google, but you'd go to find somebody else, to, play a different game with other people if you feel like you have a bad hand. So, Also, breaking means, breaking, like, mental health wise. Like, people that do, like, what I'm trying to say is people um that joke around all the time are ready to break often because they're not dealing with their mental health. I've been there. So it's kind of saying you'll think I'll break, and then this money's fake, meaning money, aka their emotions. So um I don't know, it's the money. Like, when you're playing with poker, it's not really your money yet. So I don't know what the money is fake thing is, really. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Um, is that a thing in poker? Money. Players counterfeited means that they hold a hand that loses value due to the community cards making a better hand. So yeah, it is a. Okay, so money is fake, or what he has is fake. So he's saying his life is fake, because he says that earlier. I mean, later in the song, where he says he doesn't even know who he is. So that's a good analogy there. Boom! I got it eventually.
They say I'm counting cards, but I'm just hiding scars.
So this is an analogy of acting really strong when you're really weak. He's saying he's hiding scars, but AKA counting cards is a strategy to see if the player or dealer has an advantage on the next hand. Yeah, I googled that too. So trying to look for better advantage in your life, or whatever, you're trying to make your next move in life. When someone is mentally upset and joking about stuff all the time, they're not ready to make the next move. They're just they feel like they want to just just I don't know how to say it, like, just they're just done. When you feel like you're done in life, you just stop trying and everything. That's kind of the best way I can put it.
You know I won't go far, just trying to hit par. My birdie's in the air.
Par is a golf term that is determined number of strokes that a proficient scratch or zero handicap golfer should require to complete a hole. Yes, another Google search, but also par means, average or subpar, is below average. So par means average. And he also talks about a birdie, which is also another term for in golf. I'm trying to look it up. I don't play these sports, so I'm trying to figure it out. Score of 1 under par. Okay, so I guess par is trying to be perfect. Oh man, that hits a lot more. Oh, I try to be perfect all the time. I don't know if it's an autism thing, but ooh, I'm trying to figure out these meanings with these sports. Sorry if I'm not completely right with this, but so, ooh boy, I think the birdie's like 2 shots, being a score of 1 under par. So I think par is, let me look it up one more time. Oh, par. Okay, I guess it's what you get. number of strokes. Oh, it's just a number of strokes. Birdie is just under par. So I think that's 2. One more. I know this is going to be a long video, but 1 over par. 1 or fewer strokes than the par of the hole. Okay. If the player needs 1 stroke more than par to finish a hole, makes it finish. Okay. Anyway, I'm getting too into the technical stuff of things. It's nothing I needed to know for the metaphors. Also, birdie middle finger. Also in the air, aka a golf ball is in the air when it's a putt. I think that's what they call it. I don't watch golf, so my bad.
But life ain't playing fair. Wait till I hit some green.
Green as in money, but also green as in the golf term, the little patch where the hole is. Yes, I looked it up too. We're running gag in this point. I looked it up.
These hoes will bogey me.
Bogey in British is dated. So these girls will bogey me or date me. But also, Skeem is saying a bogey is also another term for having for golf, but holes, aka hose. So yeah, play on words there. So those lines just pretty much mean that he's saying his luck is going to turn around, but later in the 3rd verse, he questions that and becomes stressed out again and mental overload. But we'll get to that.
Come on, come all to the main attraction.
I feel that. I'm definitely an attention seeker. For someone that's once, doesn't want to have awkward social interactions, I sure do invite them a lot.
The little man made for your satisfaction.
That's kind of how I feel sometimes. I feel like I'm just, the clown or the jokester. It sucks, but I'm the one that does that. I enjoy entertaining, but sometimes it's just, tears of a clown. When it's time to get serious, sometimes people can't take you serious. Especially with autism, because sometimes when you're serious, people think you're joking still, because they can't read your verbal cues, or you can't express your verbal cues very well.
Hit me once and feel the action.
He's talking about acting. Lights, camera, action. But also, the action is literal, like what he's gonna do next. Brilliant.
Tear me down to patch your lacking.
Lacking, aka people that are 100% honest and truthful, and the people, again, this is in the headspace of Skeem when he was 10. Like, I don't know, like, I don't want to, devalue, I don't want to, say, bullying happens, but also kids can sometimes kid around and say a couple things. That's how they kid around. But honestly, if it continues, that's bullying. That's the difference. But he's saying to the bullies that, that he grew up with, that that's how they were. He was just acting just like, he was acting to make them laugh, to diffuse the situation, so they would leave him alone. That's what they tell you, to make your bullies laugh, and so that probably just encourages them more sometimes. It walking away encourages them to. They're gonna do it no matter what, but I'd say laughing at it kind of will be the best scenario, even though it kills you inside. But I don't know. I might be wrong with that opinion. That might be really toxic too. But there's no The bullies are hard to deal with either way.
I'm not real, I pretend to be.
That's the thing. In this instance, we're not real. Like, it's not as a whole. It's just in these circumstances, if you're, really upset, you're not being real, and then you, talk, jokes and stuff. But yeah.
Nobody knows him, not even me. At 10 years old, trade identity for self-deprecating energy.
That is dark, man. Skeem has been joking for so long that he doesn't even know who he is anymore, or his real self. When he got some, like, it's easier said than done, especially because I struggle with this too, but it feels like we need to work on trying to ground ourselves and become like more well-rounded people. Like, I feel like a lot of us tend to joke around a lot, and instead of actually like talking if you need to, if you need to vent about something.
Dealer gave me 10, so hit me, hit me, hit me, hit me.
Also, side note, a dealer could also be a metaphor for God. Interesting.
Some people think that I just hide behind a mask, but truth be told, the mask I wear ain't made of plastic from a cast.
So Skeem wears his mask. He used to do it all the time, but now he does it for music related stuff. That's the double entendre there. But he's talking about the mask of not being yourself and be able to open up to your friends, and that probably was the reason why Skeem had trouble making friends so much, because of the fact that he wasn't completely open, because he was always joking. I was actually the opposite. I was way too open as a kid. I felt like I'd cry in class and stuff. I would, I'd joke a lot too. Don't get me wrong. So people thought when I was being serious, I was like a girl I liked back in elementary school that, and that was in our grade, said, "Oh, you're kind of like the class clown." I'm like, huh? I've been crying my eyes out. People think it's an act, because, since I was silly those other times, it just kind of blended all into one. But I was kind of opposite growing up. Like, I would be too open and honest with people, and like it would push them away. So it was like one extreme to another. Like, I just wanted to tell a little bit about my past and why so that's just another. One extreme is joking all the time so no one gets to know the real you. Other time is being so open that people it scares them away. So yeah, here I am being open again, but whatever.
When I bask in my own memory, I tremble at the fact that when I think of my identity, there's missing pieces that I lack. I don't know who I am, I lost them long ago by playing games like I was normal, so my feelings wouldn't show.
So Skeem saying here, it still affects him to this day, because he wasn't himself for a long time. So I don't know about Skeem's case, but I think that maybe he did what I did for a while, until like people like it scared them away, so he started joking all the time. I just hit that point a lot later in life. So I think that might be an autism thing, like just a coping mechanism, like I said, but also the transition part could be part of autism. That's what I meant, but also, like I said earlier, with just this whole social cues thing. It's wonderful. Also, anxiety is definitely definitely I relate to it with having generalized anxiety disorder. My mind just plays tricks on me. Like, people will say part of a sentence, and my mind will fill in the blanks in the worst way possible, and then I will I don't know. So in the worst way possible, and then I'll just, you know, I'll take people's things out of context, even if they're talking to me, and like my brain will tell me the worst outcomes that they could have been saying, and when that's not what they've been saying at all, or like in a sentence, I'll take out the parts that lets my anxiety just run wild and not, you know, think it over for a little bit and put the context into it. It's a huge mess. I'm sure a lot of people on the spectrum struggle with anxiety too, because it's just, yeah, that's very damaging for people on the spectrum trying to be normal. We've talked about it a lot with one of the other reactions. I mean reviews. Yeah, this is more than a reaction. To We Skeem's song "Normal." We've already talked about that, but yeah, that kind of covers that again.
'Cause when I go into a flow of who I was, well then I know I was a creature cursed by others, so I never let him go.
That's the craziest thing to think about, like not developing yourself because others made fun of the real you. That happens. I think that's what I was saying earlier about transitioning to just jokes, because, you know, people on autism spectrum are very open. Well, they tend to be. They can be anyway. I'm not saying every case, but yeah, it's so I think that's my theory earlier was on point. But also, just hear the intensity of the third verse until he gets really intense with his voice, and he just peaks. That's like the metaphor with all of his emotions coming to an end where he can't take it anymore, and he's like, you know, fuck it, I'm done, you know?
Ah, shit.
I think that point where he just lost everything, like he kind of just felt like he's just starting over, or just like gave up on like, trying to figure it himself out and stuff. So that was a great touch. And I think that was a metaphor. Like, yeah, but I'm trying to figure myself out, my mental health and who I am, and all the everything I've been saying, like figuring out my past, and just everything just drops on the floor. It's like, I gotta restart now. That's a huge metaphor there. Yeah, just feeling like you have to restart in your brain, like restarting your brain and figuring out who you were and trying to go back way deep into your past to remember who you were. And that was just like brain overload there. Yeah, I just love this song because I'm dealing with this a lot recently. I'm so glad, because these are like therapy sessions for me, just talking about We Skeem songs. It's crazy. Keep doing your thing, man. I'm gonna put his link in the description. Go check out his channel and give him a subscribe. We Skeem speaks for the people that, you know, are called weird, and people that he makes songs not only about autism, but just a lot of mental health, and just feeling like, you know, we don't fit in. And I relate to it a lot. And I hope you you know, you could obviously see his skill and everything there with the song. And I might have missed some things, but I think I got most of it. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate that. Also, like I said, please go check out We Skeem. I can't say it enough. So I'm gonna keep saying it. Check out We Skeem. Check out We Skeem. Check out We Skeem. Check out We Skeem. No, that wasn't Luke. I actually said that those many times. And yeah. And I'll see you when you watch me again, metaphorically.